Hey everyone, Arizona Kid here. Been a while. Gonna do some pros and cons on a windshield here. Now, I'm gonna take this windshield off, so that might tell you that the cons for me outweigh the pros because I don't want it on here any longer. It was given to me by a manufacturer, and it would have cost them around close to $400. And then there's another company I was looking into. I think it was Super ATV. It would have been even over $400 for this same setup. So it's a lot of money that it wasn't given to me. That I'd be pretty upset that I had to pay all that money to find out I didn't want one. I would have been really upset. But there's no way to know, how do you know until you try it out yourself? So hopefully this video will maybe help you out there decide, do you want it? Do you want to spend the money? Do you want to invest in a windshield? Is your conditions require it? Do they not require it? Do your personal wants require it? I'm kind of go over all that real quick for you, let you know what I've come to know from owning a windshield on a UTV, and we'll just go from there on it. So I'll get you guys flipped around and we'll start talking about it. All right? All right, everyone. I was gonna take the machine outside. I'm hoping the lighting in here does okay, and that this video comes out all right. But it's gonna be more of explanations than really needing to see things on it, so hopefully that part don't matter. Now, I said it's gonna be pros and cons. It's gonna be a mixed gibberish of it all, instead of going like, this is 1 pro, 2 pro, 3, I think that's just silly on it. I'll jump all over anyways, even if I try to talk it out that way. But the windshield, okay, mainly people wanna get a windshield, to block the wind, to block the cold. That's probably the 2 biggest reasons to put a windshield on it. You don't want the wind hitting your face. You don't want, you want to also stop the cold air from coming at you. That's probably the 2 biggest reasons why I was wanting a windshield, just because of that, I guess I'm saying, but just because of that, because the wife would be in here, she's cold, other people were saying that they have one and it was keeping the wind off of them. So I was like, I want that same thing. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I want to stop the cold and stop the wind from hitting me? So once again, it was given to me. I got reached out by Kimimoto, I think that was the brand, and there's videos on my channel about it. And honestly, at the beginning, I really liked it. I don't think it's a bad quality windshield, so I'm not going to slam the manufacturer for it, because I found out all of them are bloody the same. Okay, they're all made in China. It doesn't matter. They're all the same stuff. So they're all going to scratch. I don't care what anybody says, this plastic's gonna scratch. Really easy, super easy. It's gonna scratch like crazy. Unless you go get a windshield that is real glass, like your car would be. And even that could get scratched, but it's a lot harder to get scratched. This is so easy. I could take a rag right now and just wipe. I could even do my hand and wipe it, and it's gonna scuff it. Right up here, I don't know if you guys can see that. These marks here is because this is a flip up. And if you flip it up and you're thinking, well, that isn't hitting right. Well, when the wind picks this up and pushes on it, it hits. So when you're riding around and you're going, and this thing only tops out at 43 miles an hour. When you get going too fast and the wind takes it up, it rubs up on the top of it. Did I know that? No, I didn't know that. Also, and I've heard of other guys having the same thing, this spring popped down right here that helps keep this up like that instead of down like that, which either way, to me, it's in your way, but that's just how those pop open windshields are. The sticky thing here came up on it, got dirt underneath it and ripped off. And you'd want something there that's got a cushion on it, because if you don't, this upper part, when it's flat down and you're riding, will rattle like crazy. And it's really loud. It'll just, yeah, like that noise. It'll do that as you're riding. But if you put it on the half where it's got like the little air vent, then obviously it ain't gonna rub. And that's just the way I left it. I never put a cushion thing on it. Now that I just told you guys the top 2 reasons I purchased a machine, wanted a windshield because it was given to me, is to keep the wind and keep the cold air off the wife and help try to keep her warmer. We went up north, we went riding around. I was on my ATV. You guys all know I got an ATV. Wife was driving, had a friend in here, had their dog, had my daughter and her good friend in the back. And we were on ATVs, me and my son and my nephew. We were riding. We get everywhere. We don't have no dust on us whatsoever. Everybody that was in this looked like they were getting full of dust. And everybody will tell me, well, you got to put a thing back here, a back thing, and or a thing back here, a back, window cover, and then that dirt won't come in here. Baloney. That's BS. I tried one right here. I tried one in the far back because at first I wanted it in the far back for everybody to not have dirt come at them. I put these back on, thinking they would help maybe deflect the dirt coming in. Once you put that windshield down, even with that crack right there, it's still bad. It just comes right around, just comes feeding right into here. All the dirt backwards, it's just weird. It's almost like there's this suction that pulls the dirt inward and you get filthy. I never had so much. I sprayed it off a little bit, but there's still a bunch in here from the last ride all over the seat still. You can see that. Look, yeah, you can obviously. When I ride, this thing, unless I'm right behind somebody without a windshield, this is when I didn't have the windshield on, unless I'm right behind somebody, like riding their butt really hard, I never would get dust in here. Very little. The wind would just blow it on out. That's one of my biggest cons, is why do I want a windshield when I'm just trying to deflect the wind off my face? Because I'm thinking, well, then I don't have to wear sunglasses or safety glasses, because that's a law here, which I always wear them anyways, because then I'll have a windshield. Well, now I'm getting filthy full of dirt. And then we go to the cold. I live in Arizona. I never really have to worry about cold here in Arizona. This ruined the reason for me to want a windshield. And everybody goes, well, you got to flip one. Just leave it open. But why have it there if I never am going to want it shut? I'm just going to want it wide open anyways. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just take the top off and leave this half piece. And that still was an option, but I thought, I just don't want it at all. I want it to go back to the way I got it. When I would ride it, I rode it because why are you getting a UTV? Why are you buying this? Are you buying it so you're in a vehicle out riding around? Are you buying it because you want to go out and feel some open air? Just like people get street bikes, and they want to. That's why I got a quad. You want to feel the environment. You don't want a windshield to stop the environment. Now that I've said all that, that's my personal opinion. Now, there is people that have these machines and have windshields, and they live in the snow. I totally get that reasoning. They still want to take a machine that can go over bumps easier than a Jeep can or a truck can. They want to go out. They want, but they want to have some kind of protection from the elements. I totally get it. There's always going to be a circumstance that I think someone might want a windshield, and especially like I watch Laura Farms. They got a Polaris, and theirs is enclosed. I mean, AC heater, and it's completely enclosed with doors. but they use theirs for work. I mean, they're farmers and they use it for work, but they live in an environment where it's cold more than half the year, or it's opposite of here. They're in cold temperatures and I'm in hot temperatures most of the year, and they're in more of cold temperatures most of the year. A windshield in Arizona, I don't care what anybody says, what a waste of money. Unless well, I shouldn't say that all of Arizona, unless you're up north and you're, once again in snow. But even in Arizona, snow is not a common thing that's all year round. It still might be, maybe longer than it is down here in the valley, but it's still not something I would invest in long term. I'm thinking if I want a windshield at all, just to keep the wife happy whenever she does go ride, which is very seldom, is going and buying like $100 one that's just a full windshield. It has Velcros on it. You just stick it on, Velcro it on, use it while you're riding, and then when you don't want it on, Velcro and take the whole thing off. That's what I'm thinking might be the solution down the road, not this one, because I 99% of the time am riding it and I don't want one on it. And the biggest reason, everybody's going, well, what's the biggest reason why? Because I'm tired of having dirt just get sucked in. When you have it open, no dirt gets sucked in. The people go, well, what if you ride where it's mud? See, this is where all the pros and cons go. If you're in a area that you don't get dry dirt and sand like I have down here in the valley, and you ride in the desert, and I ride in the desert most of the time, getting rain out here is, like wishing to win the lottery. It's very rare, and it's always going to be dry environment grounds. So you're always going to have that dirt factor coming at you. But if you're in a part of the country, or like I have Canadian watchers and all that, and you get more snow, more mud, more rain, you don't understand what I'm talking about, the dirt coming in at you. You don't understand that because you got drier conditions most of the time. So you might be okay with putting up with a windshield on it. I don't know if that's good pros and cons for you guys, because your environment's going to tell you. But if I was in Arizona, I would not invest in any kind of windshield whatsoever. Unless, like I said, you're driving this thing and you're going to be driving it in snow and rain and sleet, which that's totally a different thing. And there is some place in Arizona that get that, But like I said, I would just invest in one you can take on and off and have it when you want it and have it when you don't want it. And definitely, if you're going to have one permanently, don't invest in plexi, plastic, stuff like this. Get a real glass one. Spend the extra money, because think about it. You get a real glass one for this machine, I think close to $800, which is twice the amount. But this one's ruined. This one's all scuffed up, scratched up, and it's just going to get worse as it goes. And if I decided to get another one because eventually I can't see out of this, well, once you buy two of these, you just paid for one that's real glass. That's going to last probably the lifetime you own the machine. Something to think about big time there. These things just scratch up really bad. People think immediately, well, I'm saving the money. I'm only yeah, but if you're going to want it long term, spend the money on it. You probably wouldn't even know if you want it long term until you end up, I hate to say that, wasting the money and getting one like this. And I got lucky. I didn't have to pay for this one. Like I said, I'd be really upset if I would have had to pay for this windshield. Really, really upset. So guys, my advice, think about it first. Think about the environment you're in. Think about what the windshield really does. Blocks the wind, keeps the snow and rain off of you, okay? And supposedly will keep you a little warmer because the air's not hitting you. If you don't need that and you're not in that all the time riding, don't bother getting it, especially if you're getting it thinking, it's going to block the dust from getting on me. If I'm in Arizona, that windshield's going to block the dirt. No, it's all just going to come in right through the sides, everywhere. And it's going to be worse coming at you than if you didn't have one on there. So don't get a windshield to block the dust. It doesn't do it, because it just gets sucked in backwards on you. And if anybody tells you, well, just put a window here, put a window there, I tried it, doesn't work. Unless you're gonna enclose it completely and make it complete enclosed cab, just putting a back thing here to the front, dirt's still gonna get sucked in on the side. And when you have nothing on it, it airs it all out. You're just constant airflow. So I hope this helps somebody. Be careful. Don't waste your money on a windshield. My thoughts would be pass on it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have another video really soon. This machine's to its 2-year review. I don't want to get into that right now, even though I got a bunch of junk in the back. Don't want to get into that right now. We'll get into that later. And keep the powder dry, and we'll see. Oh, happy 2023, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.